Hello again, Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, back for another painting video, this time Som'er Teeth Jones from Malifaux, olive green 09035. So, Som'er Teeth is the leader of what's going to be, from what I understand, the Big Hat sub-faction of the Gremlins, which are changing their name to, I think, Swamp? Bayou, something like that. I think the third edition is going to be a more significant change than the shift from first to second. But regardless, Som'er's name, at least in earlier versions of the fiction, comes from an incident where a guild guardsman knocked a bunch of his teeth out in a fight, and Som'er spit out a mouth of blood and teeth, said "Som'er here, Som'er there," and returned the injury in kind in particularly brutal fashion, which just fits Malifaux in general. But he was one of many gremlins who caught on to the idea of mimicking humans that were starting to come into Malifaux at the time, rather just starting, and was one of the gremlin pioneers of two of the most significant adaptations: firearms and alcohol. One of the biggest things he learned by observing the guild in the early days of their return to Malifaux was that the guy with the loudest voice and the biggest hat was in charge, something he took to heart quite enthusiastically. Most gremlins are about half the size of a full-grown human, but some, like Som'er, are much larger, and he is definitely closer to human size compared to his smaller kin, and some are smarter, and while not the brightest crown in the box himself, Som'er definitely qualifies as being one of the smarter gremlins out there. Okay. This flesh helm is done. If I can get this camera to focus. Come on, play nice. There we go. So the flesh is done. Gonna let that dry and move on in a minute. Okay. Yellow bone 09143. Can't really see the inside of his mouth too well, and there was some awkward assembly here with part of his face. You can see that line. So just carefully along his sharp, jagged, cruel-looking teeth. So you might wonder how someone can have a full mouth of fangs if his teeth got knocked out. Cloudy Gray 09089. It's not really been answered anywhere, but the only possibility I can think of is that gremlins just can regrow their teeth. Makes sense. At least as much sense as anything Malifaux does, so. Cloudy Gray 09089. Gonna get what's left of a suit, jacket, and pants that were definitely stolen from some high-ranking guild official. I think it said somewhere that that's where Som'er got his hat from. Let's see here. There we go. Some of the seams on where the coat ends and the shirt begins are not as clear as I would like, but okay. And we'll make the hat match the shirt and pants. Careful on the underside of the brim not to hit the flesh. I did earlier. Those instead of just the tip, I'm using the side as often, so bear that technique in mind. That's pretty good, so let that sit. Oh, still got to do some work on the focus. Alright. Next up, oiled leather 09110. Gonna put this on the string for his. That's not string, it's a strap for his rifle. And his glove. I'm gonna do this mesh knitting holding one of his bottles of alcohol. And his one boot. And then 09002 deep red. Which is plugged up, so if I can get a grip on it without knocking over my water, I'm just going to take a paper clip again and clear it. Utility of a simple paper clip, right? Just going to go on the feather and his hat band. And technically red and gray are official guild colors, but Som'er stole this stuff from a guild officer, so. Okay, ribbons on his medals, pinned to his hat, and his coat. Looks like the new 3rd edition of Malifaux is right around the corner. But, yeah, I've got mixed feelings about it, especially getting rid of Nicodeme and replacing him with a character that is pretty much the exact same playstyle, being, from what I've understood, that's going to be Albus Van Stuck, which, while he's been in the fiction for a while, it's still, I think I went over this earlier in this video, it's just kind of frustrating to replace a character with another character that's exactly like him. Doesn't matter what media it is. And then he's got a little neckerchief here. Okay. It's good. We'll leave that, and once it's dry, get him a couple of base coats. What the? Alright, just a couple of base coats left. Pine Green 09010. We'll get the glass on his liquor bottles. If the paint cooperates. Oh my. Okay. I think I have a spare. Because I do have a spare. Well, what a time for me to run out of paint, right? Alright, we'll get him back in focus while I'm doing that, shaking this up. And that's not the camera shaking, it's me. Not quite there yet on the mix. New pots require more mixing than usual. It is what it is. Much better. Now I've got my pine green. Just going to carefully pick out the balls of alcohol. I'm not going to do the pieces inside that mesh at this point. What I want is a nice solid coat of just that found it on the side of the road green beer bottle. That ought to be alright. Now 09050 antique gold. This will focus in on Som'er again. Come on. There we go. Kinda. Come on. Alright, yeah, So I am seriously considering upgrading to the newest version of this program, see if that'll help fix some of these problems, but I just have to wait about a week, so it'll be a couple more videos before I can afford to do that, but it is kind of on my itinerary. Just because I am kind of getting a little frustrated with some of these consistent issues myself, and it might be worth a shot to try to, or it might be worth a shot if this ends up fixing it. So this gold chain goes all the way around, and looks like this is what his bottles of liquor are hanging off of. Now I need Tarnished steel 09206. Just one piece of Som'er Teeth Jones that needs this, and that's his blunderbuss here. Let's see here. Let's see. Barrel, obviously, but I think this mechanism, I think there's a trigger mechanism there, so we'll do that. Trigger here. Yep. So, brings to mind the Swedish chef from the Muppet Show, actually. One of his favorite cooking utensils apparently is a blunderbuss. And Shield Brown 09161. Last base coat. Let's make certain I'm not dropping, thousands of frames a second here. It's kind of weird because sometimes this focusing issue is fine, sometimes it's not. Alright, I'll just. Okay, so it's going to go on the stock here. I'm going to have to keep playing around with the program and consider doing the upgrade until I can get this right. So that's all there is to it. Okay, the stock of the gun, his cigar. Gremlins love their vices. And the mud. This is again just hand sculpted basins, so it's just kind of what I do for Malifaux and Relic Knights, and I'm thinking about doing it for other games too. I'm just not certain if I want to just yet, since other games I play have more established basing patterns. I guess is the right word I'm looking for. And if it came out of my mouth in about the most awkward way possible. Okay. That's good. That's base coats. Once that's dried, I can start shading. Alright. Time to start shading. Pure Black 09037. This is going to be going on the bottles. Not sure if that brown is quite where I need it, but should be alright. But you can see right here, that's where the face did not go on properly. It's a design flaw. And then I think the gold, so Ancient Bronze 09049. Whoa, it's flying all over. Again, Som'er would probably be intimidating that underling into keeping his gear shiny and clean. Too much of a slob to do it himself. I suppose not so much clean as just shiny and intimidating. After all, he is the Bayou boss. In fact, originally all the Gremlins were outcasts. They became their own faction in 2nd edition. And then let's go ahead and do the gun barrel. So Blackened Steel 09205. We'll see what 3rd edition brings, but currently one of the Gremlins' biggest abilities is just luck. Such as Bayou 2 card, which lets them cheat fate with the top card of their fate deck instead of something from their hand. So while that can be beneficial, it can also backfire spectacularly, but I think that's part of the point. I don't want to risk it. No, I'm going to call that good for now. Move on a bit later. Alright. Ruddy Leather 09109. Again, you're going to use about half paint, half water to turn your shades into a wash. That should be okay. And one boot. And then go ahead and do the teeth too, so stained ivory 09142. And now, oh, come on, focus. Oh, it's just gonna fight me. Red brick 09001. Trying not to hit the gray with this, as this will, well, and it happened anyway. Alright, that's okay. I'll get it figured out. Actually, the dark gray I'll be using to shade that should take care of most of the red on it. Should be okay. And I just conked my camera. Okay. It's a nice solid layer, so let that dry, and then I can do the gray and the brown and the skin tone, and start highlighting. Okay. Next, Stormy Gray 09088. There we go. Starting on the hat just because. So this is covering up the red that seeped onto it reasonably well, so that's good there. For the pants. Make sure this thing hasn't decided to start dropping frames en masse. So and then Woodstain brown, which has just decided to run away from me. 09160. So going on the cigar, the butt of the gun. Actually, I think just the cigar in the... Yeah, just the cigar in the butt of it. I'm going to use something else on the ground there. Yeah, you know what? I'll go ahead and shade the ground with this too. That'll be fine. Okay, that's got that. Alright. Muddy Olive 09034. Looks like the paint might still be a little wet, but I can work with it. Summer's bald, but some gremlins do have hair. Some wear wigs. But one of the more entertaining bits about Summer in the fiction is a vignette called Bullet, where Jones is recruited to basically play a drinking game with mercenary master Von Schill to eventually leech some information out of him. And Bullet is a combination of blackjack with a lot of drinking and a shooting round in between hands of cards. Shooting round is in actual firearms involved. So I hope some fraternity doesn't actually start playing Malifaux and read that. That could result in gun deaths. Like more. Okay, that's all the skin tones. So once that's dry, I can get the eyes, the gun barrel, and one last round of shading and start on highlights. Okay, Pure White 09039. Got this detail in them earlier of shading, so I'm going to carefully fill in his sclera. The whites of the eyes, at least I think that's the correct word. Then taking Pure Black 09037. Going to fill in a barrel for his gun. Carefully dot in some pupils. And then thin this out into a wash. You've got to go a little heavier on water when you're shading with black. At least 3 to 4 parts instead of the normal 2 parts water to 1 part paint. Or one, getting a little tongue-tied. Normally it's 1 or 2 parts water, 1 part paint. You want 3 or 4 parts water, 1 part paint when you're doing black, just because of how out of hand it can get. It can get up getting too dark. So I'll make the mud look more like mud. And now once this is all dry, I can go ahead and highlight. Oh, come on. Come on, focus. Alright, this is going to take more work to figure out this focus issue than I initially thought. Alright. Okay. Time to highlight and wrap this up. Pale Olive 09036. Actually, I need to start with Cream Ivory 09144 and get the teeth first. Just a little clogged nozzle, easy to fix. Just a paper clip. Tiny dot will be plenty. Taking a ratty, feathered looking, oh boy, this focus issue. Taking a feathered ratty brush like that. Dipping the paint, no water, just rub it out on paper towel. It looks like there's almost nothing left. Just lightly dust over the area to be affected. And now the Pale Olive 09036. I'm getting a little tense. I'll be all right. Just a lot going on. In the shoe. Lightly dusting over the flesh tone. Make sure to get his toes. Gremlins don't have much in the way of nostrils. Okay, that's got that. Next, Leaf Green 09011. Part of this is getting done random. Plugged up, so paper clip. This thing will do. It's just a metal rod I cut into for pinning when I need to. The model being pinned isn't going to care about paint on it. Or rather, in it by the time the pinning is complete anyway. We need a better light source. I'm not certain. Still improvements to be made on these videos in general. Just focusing on the most readily visible surfaces again. Now Misty Gray 09090. Got plenty of spare brushes. The brush should be completely dry before each new coat is added. I've got plenty of spares. They don't really sell brushes like this too often, but they'll end up this way over time, so you'll get suitable dry brushing. Oh crud, I forgot the hat. You'll get brushes suitable for dry brushing over time. This will happen just as a part of normal wear and tear. Right now, Blood Red 09003. Trying to go against the ridges helps catch the paint and make it pop a little better. And arbitrarily new gold 09051. Concerning myself again with just the most readily visible areas. Take over that blood red and touch up that nick there. A bit more straight paint than I normally would. Go. True Silver 09207. Chaos abounds back here. Camera. Not much of this, mostly just the barrel of the rifle there. It's going to leave the leather and the wood, I think, so 09111 burnt orange. And Driftwood Brown 09162. Feels like it's about out, but I think I've got enough to do what I need to do. So stock and a mud. And that's it. Oh, forgot his cigar. Still a little bit there. Now fire orange. That can be ignored. It's my phone. Hang on. It's just a scam call. Everybody's getting a lot of them. So, fire orange 09006. And I know it's a scam call because the area code is from Wyoming and it's not a number I recognize as belonging to family. So, tiny dot at the end of the cigar of fire orange to show it's lit. Then pure black 09037 to finish. Now I was doing faction colors around the rim of the base, but with all the faction changes and all this other stuff, I'm just going to do straight black on everything moving forward, though I am highly unlikely to actually go back and repaint the bases on previously completed models. Oh, gotta love interruptions while filming, right? Going around the edge. This just cleans up any nicks. Gives a nicer finish the model overall. So I do have more Malifaux coming up, but much of it is Mark II, so just bear that in mind. Okay, there we go. Big Bad Bayou Boss, Som'er Teeth Jones. So, gonna finish up his box set, take one break for Monster Apocalypse video, and keep up with Malifaux for a bit. So until next time, I am Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, signing out.